Hi, welcome to the shed. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to spell major scales using the circle of fourths. The first step when you're spelling your major scales is to figure out if it's a sharp or a flat key. But we're going to start with the key of C because the key of C has no sharps or flats. So you first spell a scale by following the diatonic order. The diatonic order is the same as the alphabetic order, except after G it repeats back to A. There is no H note. So this is actually the key of C. It has no sharps or flats. Now you can write in the scale degrees underneath. The scale degrees are just these little numerals with a little caret on top. We use the scale degrees when you were using digital patterns or analyzing licks or writing melodies. So the fifth scale degree in the key of C is G. The third scale degree in the key of C is E, and that's going to come in very useful later. So that's the key of C, but there are 11 more scales out there. The key of F is the only flat key that doesn't have a flat next to its letter name. So if you look over here, these are all of our flat keys. F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat. All of them have flat, that little B next to them, except for F. So F has no flat there. All of the sharp keys don't have a sharp next to their letter name except for the key of F and the key of C. So like if I'm asking about the key of B, is that a flat key or a sharp key? Well, it's not F, it's not C, and it doesn't have flat next to its name, so it must be a sharp key. And that's how you figure out if the key is sharp or flat. Now you need to figure out how many sharps or flats are in the key, and that's what these sayings are for. So for sharp keys, the saying is, good dogs always eat boneless fried chicken. So if you're looking at the key of B, for example, it would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sharps in it. If I'm looking at the key of E flat, the saying is, for better earth always drive green cars. So in the key of E flat, you have 1, 2, 3 flats. So let's do the key of E. Is it a sharp key or a flat key? Well, it's not the key of C, it's not the key of F, so it must be a sharp key. Good dogs always eat. It has 4 sharps. So the key of E, it has 4 sharps. Now you're just going to write out the scale diatonically. So that means after G, it repeats to A, and everything else is alphabetical. Now you have to figure out which notes are sharped or flatted. So we have 4 of them. This tells you which notes are sharped or flatted. When you go from left to right, those are the notes that are flatted. When you go from right to left, those are notes that are sharped. So I have 4 sharps. Those notes are F, C, G, and D. So I'm just going to add sharps here. F, C, G, and D, the key of E. I could write in my scale degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 with the carets. Like the third scale degree in the key of E is G sharp. The sixth scale degree in the key of E is C sharp. You will never have sharps and flats in the same key for a major scale. Let's do a different key. Let's do a flat key. Let's do the key of D flat. All right, so we're doing D flat here. Is it a sharp key or a flat key? Well, it has flat next to its letter name, so it's definitely a flat key. And how many flats does it have? 4. Better, earth, always drive. It has 5 flats. 5 flats. Which notes are flatted? You go from right to left for sharps, but you go from left to right for flats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me write them in here. We have D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I'm going to add in my flats. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat. Okay, so I have a couple extra tricks. The first one is the rule of 7. So if you notice, there is a D flat key and there's a D sharp key. There's an E flat key and there's an E sharp key. Here's how the rule of 7 works. There are 5 flats in the key of D flat. If you subtract 5 from 7, you get how many sharps are in that key. So there are 5 flats. 7 minus 5 is 2. There are 2 sharps. This works for every key. So if there's 5 sharps in the key of B, 7 minus 5 is 2. There are 2 flats in the key of B. There are 3 sharps in the key of A. 7 minus 3 is 4. There are 4 flats in the key of A flat. So that's a nice thing. Another thing is the last note in the scale is always 1/2 step away from the root. So if you go down from the root 1/2 step, you're gonna land on that note. All right? So I hope that helps you spelling your major scales using our mnemonic devices. All these mnemonic devices come from the circle of fourths, so definitely check out the circle of fourths. Thank you.